Shoving that absolute hog he's got right there. Okay. Let me open up the chat. Let me open up the chat. What's good, chat? Godzilla, Tuzon, Slothy, Vane, Trav. Everyone's in here, man. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, chat. How we doing, man? How we doing, chat?
Getting full.
Who's bricked, man? Who's bricked?
Not me.
Who's bricked up, chat, for an absolute banger CDL player tier list that we're about to put on for y'all tonight? About to go to sleep soon? Damn, bro. Damn. This guy Tuzon's, he's grinding, man. Oh, dude. Ow.
Yeah, what's goody, chat?
What's goody, chatty? I should probably tweet that we're live too, huh? Should probably do that. Let me tweet. Let me tweet.
I fucking wish. Christ.
Let me do that. Let me do this. What's good, chat? Welcome, everybody. Hope y'all are doing good, man. Hope y'all are doing good. We have not started yet for anyone that's just joining. We have not started yet. We're getting this tweet out here. I need a good picture to pair with this tweet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that picture will work. Do that. Do this. Watch here. YouTube channel. Bang. Okay. Tweet is live. Now let me retweet it on my page. Be a good Samaritan. Chat, you guys should retweet that tweet too while you're at it. You know what I'm saying.
I don't like that one at all.
You know what I'm saying, chat. Retweet that. Bang like that. Sick. Sick. What's good, everybody? How we doing, man?
What the fuck was that?
What's up? I should have posted. I should have posted the Vivid interview with the tweet.
I'm gonna bait that. I'm gonna just take like a screenshot of it. I'm gonna just bait it. I'm gonna just say dropping soon.
Except we can't drop it. The only thing dropping soon is Vivid, bro.
Well, not even soon. He's already gone.
Oh my god, that poor guy, bro. That poor guy, man. We did do a tier list ranking last episode, but it was a speed list where we didn't have any deliberation. We literally just said things. Tonight, we're actually going to do like a fleshed out tier list that is like our official halfway through the season tier list that I can post on Twitter and things like that. So we're actually going to cook tonight. It's not, you know what I'm saying? We're actually going to cook and we're going to make the right choices.
I feel fucking huge. Christ almighty.
That can't be a first.
No, this is like a first. Like, I feel really full. Like, bad full. Thank you, sir. They already did it, chat. I did not eat twice. I only ate once.
Chat, Preston said it's bulking season. And I said, when is it not? Because, I mean, Christ, this guy doesn't stop munching, bro.
It's My metabolism makes bulking season way harder than it needs to be. Okay.
Bro eats every day, 5 times a week. I think he eats every day, 6 times a week, 7 times a week, dare I say. And then on top of that, he eats 5 times every day.
I was a red Ferrari. What the fuck? I think you're talking about Jake. Look at his fucking shirt.
Yeah,
Matches
you
his
know what I'm
shirt.
saying, man. This is a nice ass
Pre-
jersey, bro.
Preston has
Mario,
the Lambo.
Mario, you bulk in April of 2025 when you get married in June of 2026. You know what I'm saying? Because gotta look good next
He's
year.
trying to fill out that tux. You know what he's saying?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Sloppy.
Drink some liquor. I don't drink.
Says the guy with like fucking 40,000 bottles on his left hand side over there. What's good, Drippy? How we doing?
Drip, drip.
Dude used to have whiskey Wednesdays. He was out here buying fucking.
Go follow
Yeah,
Caesar's Cocktails on TikTok.
and follow Caesar's cock on OnlyFans.
I gotta get that shit back. That's what's up, Drip. That's what's up.
Dude, I was
chat.
watching that Joe DeCease interview. It's kind of banging.
Yeah, Joe D's got motion, I guess.
Chat, the Masters was fucking godlike this weekend. Who watched?
Who watches
watched.
golf?
I watched.
Who watches golf?
I
Respect.
did not.
Respect golf.
I
I'm
watched.
also bad at golf.
I honestly, is anyone really that good at golf other than like pro level players?
Well, that's the thing. Like even pro level players, like
You can't.
it's the hardest game ever because like they set the line at like a good level. Like there's no real average.
Yeah.
Like they set par at like okay, like if you do this, that's really really good. There's no
par,
like I don't
par
know.
is not an average player. Par is like what a really
Exactly,
good, what a
but
really
that's
really
like-
good player might be able to average on the course.
Exactly, but nobody's not going to shoot.
If they set an average score, it would be like 115 out of a regular course.
My dad was a scratch golfer. Your dad's got fucking aura. Golf's hard as fuck. Hard as fuck.
Oh man, but chat, appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream, and I mean, you guys want to just get it started? Just get right into it.
Let's
I'm
get
down.
right into it.
What did we say? Let me check the other screen real quick just to make sure it looks good. Let me hit a little zoom ski here. Sick.
He is a little hottie.
Look
He
at
is a
that.
little
I just
hottie.
want to. Oh, I just want to kiss him.
Who?
You read the chat.
Wait, I'm on top chat again. Fucking
This
shit.
guy.
Oh,
This
Hey,
guy.
she's about to get a good wienering later today.
Oh shit.
No, I was with my family this weekend. I worked Saturday morning, and then I was with my family Saturday evening and Sunday. So that's why I wasn't on the watch party. And I detailed Friday. I had a pretty busy weekend, to be honest.
She's kissing me, Kayla.
That's too funny. All right, who's ready to start the show, man? Let's get into it.
We
Let's
can
get
run. We
into
can
it.
run.
Let's get into it. Chat, appreciate y'all again. And let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's talk about some roster changes. Let's tier list some players. Let's do some pick'ems because our pick'ems were shit last week.
Woo.
But let's do it, chat. I'm gonna run the intro in 3, 2, and 1. What's good, Call of Duty fans, and welcome back to episode 51 of Around the CDL, presented by 1v1me, which we'll talk more about later. We got a bunch of things to talk about in this episode, man. We got a roster change after the 2 weeks of Major 3 qualifiers. We're fully tier listing all the players, so like actually going in depth and giving our real list and what we think so far, like about, actually technically probably over halfway through the season. And obviously doing pick'ems, things like that. But Alex and Preston, boys, with me here as always. How's it going, man? You guys had busy weekends, both of you. So how was the weekend? How's the Monday? What are we thinking?
I'll let you go first.
Don't
My
all
weekend was-
jump at once, man. Don't all jump at once.
My weekend was pretty busy. But I'm happy to be here. It's a new week, and we got Easter Sunday coming up. for those who celebrate Easter Sunday. I'm looking forward to some COD. I'm a little perplexed at the timing of this roster move, but we'll get into that later. I don't know. I'm just, as always, happy to be here and ready for another good show, man.
Yeah. Busy weekend. To be honest, I barely watched any COD. I tried to sneak it in when I could. Had work on Sunday or Saturday, and then had to go to Modesto on Sunday. So, pretty busy weekend. Didn't get to watch a lot of COD, but a lot of interesting matches happened. A lot of good matches happened. So, yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, it was actually probably the best weekend of online COD this season, I think. I genuinely think like the matches this weekend, a lot of upsets, a lot of unexpected things. But before we actually touch on the matches, let's talk about the roster news, right? Because I think that's the biggest news to talk about. Vivid has been released from the Royal Ravens, and it's rumored or reported on by Breaking Point and Ronnie that Dylan Rex from Omit Brooklyn is going to be replacing him. So obviously we can talk about this in two pieces. How do we feel about the Vivid drop? And then how do we feel about his replacement?
Well, kind of torn, right? I guess on one hand, I understand it. He hasn't been playing, I guess, that great. He's been underwhelming for the most part with his performance as of recent.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't understand the timing of this. I'm not gonna lie. There was Rostermania rumors that they were trying to pick up Ken. I'm not sure why they didn't just go and pick up Dylan when they failed to get Kenny right then and there. Why would they even try to go 2 weeks after attempting to drop Vivid and then not dropping Vivid, and you kind of put yourself into a deeper hole? So that part I don't really understand that much. I just feel sick, man, for Vivid. Vivid always gets scapegoated. Every single team he's on, he's always the scapegoat. And part of that is, underperforming. It is. And, he holds himself accountable. I know he does. But it just feels like sometimes, even if he's not the problem, he's the scapegoat every single time. I will say, though, part of me is pissed at who they picked up, and for a very, very selfish reason. I just texted these boys the other day that if Optic was potentially going to make a roster change next season, that I've had my eyes on Dylan Rex for weeks now, man. Weeks, absolute weeks. I think he's an absolute stud, and I literally just texted him. I said, I just think somebody's going to swoop in, and we're not going to get a chance. I just said that the other day. I think it's a great pickup for Carolina. We'll see how it works. I think that him and Vivid aren't exactly the same player. But Rex is nasty and definitely adds some slaying power. So I think this is just, I don't see how this is a bad move at all. Their S&D is already pretty good to begin with, and this is only going to help their respawn. So I think this is probably one of the better moves they could have made, really.
Yeah, the timing of it definitely doesn't make any sense. I feel like with all the commotion that happened last week, or was it last week? No, or was it before? No, it was before Major 3 qual started with Kenny possibly getting bought out, then that falling through, and then TJ going on an interview this past weekend saying we're good, we're not going to make any changes or whatever. The timing of it is just off. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're 2-2 right now. They lost to Surge and FaZe, right? And they beat Rocker and I can't remember who else they beat. LAG. So, and I mean, the match against Rocker, Vivid didn't play that bad actually. Like I feel like he played pretty good. He had some good kills on the map where he kind of saved his team. I know. He just didn't look that bad in that. Against Vancouver, they just got actually reverse swept. I don't know. I think he jumped like a 0.6, so he didn't play that well that round. But just the timing of it is just super weird. I mean, I'm in the same boat as Preston in the fact that I think they got the best player they probably could get in Dylan Rex. He was probably playing the best out of all of the challenger players currently. I mean, the kid's nasty. He's frying. I know there's one particular person on Twitter. Her name is Ina. She's a big advocate of Dylan Rex, even since last year and the year before that. So I'm happy he's getting, his shot in the league to show what he can actually do against the pros. Um, Always, shout out to Omit, the pipeline. I mean, if you want to go to the league,
Literally.
Rafi has to sign you. So
It's your only chance, and apparently now it's your only chance.
That's
literally,
not
so
6 players. That's insane.
you have to go to Omit if you want to get picked up. It's
Mhm.
like there's no debate about it. I mean, Super, I guess you can argue with that. He was on Omit for like a week,
Yeah,
and then he
barely.
went somewhere else. But pretty much everyone else that's been picked up has been from Omit. So shout out to those guys. As I always say, those are my fucking guys. Love those guys out there. But yeah, I'm excited to see what what Rex can do. I feel bad for Vivid. Again, just the timing of it, hearing that you're going to get dropped for Kenny, then that doesn't happen, and then you go on and play 2 weeks of matches, and then you're dropped all of a sudden again. It's just shit timing, sucks. Again, especially after the comments that TJ made, that when he said, we're good over here, we're not going to make any changes, which Jesus Christ, brother. I mean, I guess you kind of blame that on Nameless for kind of asking that question, but that meme is going to be posted literally, or that video is going to be posted pretty much the entire season. So happy for Rex. Sucks for Vivid because I feel like he's always the scapegoat. I mean, we talked about it a few weeks ago. I don't think he hasn't been on a roster for an entire season. He's either been brought on mid-season or been cut mid-season. So got to feel for the guy. Will he call it? Probably not.
No.
But it's also, he also wasn't on a role that he wasn't comfortable with. He was an AR when he's traditionally a sub. I know people are talking about bringing him to Optic. I'm okay. No, thank you.
Damn.
Respectfully. Love Vivid, but he's just not for Optic. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about it.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, you guys said everything that I would say. I feel bad for Vivid. I'm really happy for Dylan Rex, obviously. It definitely sucks that, like, they almost made a change and then they didn't, and now they did. And for him, that definitely has to suck. And for the team, that also has to stink because you're going into this weekend playing one online qualifier, pretty limited practice with Dylan Rex, right? I guess you're coming in with a week because ProLoot just replaced him on Omit Brooklyn to finish out the Elite. So he's not even finishing Challengers Elite. So at least they got him before that ended, right? At least they didn't have to wait till after that at the end of the week. But not a whole ton of practice. You're kind of going into the major, I guess, hoping he fits the system perfectly and you hit the ground running and you have that honeymoon period. But I think it's a good pickup, right? I think for the fact that he's just a slaying presence on the map, he can flex really well. I had been showing his numbers on the screen on Breaking Point for this past Elite and the playoffs and stuff. He's just been cooking. The Slayer rating is up there, especially for an AR player. He does what he needs to do. It's going to be interesting to see how him and Slasher play together because Vivid definitely was doing a bit of OBJ on that team. There's certain maps and times where he's doing it all and Slasher's not doing any of it, and then sometimes Slasher's doing it. So I'm sure Rex is capable of sitting in the hill when need be, but it's definitely seems like he's better off if he's allowed to run around and get his kills and play his game, at least from what we've seen so far in Challengers. But I'm happy for him. Omit just continues to feed the league, man. They continue to feed the league, and it's not going anywhere.
I will say,
yeah, go for it.
Give my guy Rex some grace. His first match is against LA Thieves.
Yeah.
They'll win.
And
that they'll probably beat us for the first time this season.
Jesus Christ! So give him some time. I again, hopefully he comes out on Fridays, but it's against Thieves, the onliners. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and people are talking about it in chat. It's still interesting to me that Vivid played an AR role this season, right? Vivid has been hyper aggressive, not even just like an aggressive, like one of the most aggressive sub players in the league since he's been in the league. And he switches to even a slower AR than Slasher this season, which has been really, really weird. And I wonder if it was like I want to play an AR or if it was the only chance he had of getting on a team, which also begs the question of why would the Ravens pick him up for a role that's not his over like someone that he's not usually do over someone who does it previously. So maybe it was like a team chem type of thing, but we'll see if he goes back to playing an SMG role, or maybe now that he has the experience on like more of a main AR type role, I guess now he can sort of flex really well or fit into whatever the team might need. So it could make him a little more valuable, at least to close out the rest of this season. But I think Vivid will be back in the league. Not this season, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if he was on a team to start next year, especially if he's playing pretty good in challengers to close this year out.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if, because I know Prolu also went from an SMG to from an SMG to an AR this season. And I know when him and Illy had that, I don't know if y'all saw the video of him and Illy going back and forth with each other. I think it's just maybe I wouldn't imagine it, but it's just tougher being an SMG on this game. So maybe he wanted to try something new. Who knows?
Loki
I'm
might
fairly
have just
certain
been...
it was his choice. I'm fairly certain it was his choice.
Yeah. I wonder if it was just like there's too much SMG competition these days, and he felt like being an AR was a better chance for him to get a spot, which I mean, clearly he got one. So,
yeah,
because the SMGs this year have been like, on average, I think have been well ahead of the average AR this year. So, at least to start the season. So there's something to think about, but I do feel bad for Vivid. The Vivid interview is going to be staying in around the CDL vault, I think, for good, probably. Unfortunately for us, but hopefully he lands on his feet, and hopefully Dylan Rex fries. It's just not this weekend against LAT. Hopefully, he drops like a point. Let's go with like a 1.02. You know what I'm saying? Like a reasonable KD versus an LAT team, your first series.
1.3.
Okay.
I'll take a 1.3, but they just got to lose. You know what I'm saying? They just got to lose. But yeah, let's talk about matches, man. Let's talk about some of the matches and some of the things that happened this past weekend, because obviously a lot of things happened this weekend. Like I said, this was probably one of the better weekends, if not the best weekend of online COD we've had this season. I mean, we got to start with the big one, man. We got to start with the big one. Optic Texas dropped both matches this weekend. Both matches to Miami Heretics 3-1 and to the Vegas Falcons 3-1. I'm going to open the floor up to you guys, obviously. We'll start with Alex, because he even said on the watch party when he was very briefly on there, I think it was yesterday, that he's saving his comments for the podcast. So let's the floor is yours, Alex. Air it out.
I'm not gonna crash out, but how I said it before, nobody on this team is playing like a superstar right now. Everyone is kind of being ass when they need to be ass. And it just sucks. Unfortunately, Dashy has had shown us what he can do, but when we lose, I feel like nobody on this team is playing at the level that they can play, obviously. But I just don't know why. It just makes zero sense to me. Because we know what this team can do. I'm not going to blame it on one particular person, because honestly, the entire team has been pretty lackluster. Hook has been playing relatively well, but he's also kind of hit a little bit of a downward curve, I would say, compared to like his Major 1 form. Shotzi, I mean, he's been making some really boneheaded plays. I will say that he's been playing not like the superstar caliber that we know he can play. Dashy has, like I said, he's been playing relatively well, but he dropped the 0.8 versus Miami, and then I don't even know what he dropped against. Vegas. I can look right now.
Yeah,
but he dropped
1.09.
1.09.
He's the only one positive on that team.
I don't know what's wrong with this team, dude. I don't know what's wrong. This year just may be chalked. I was telling Jake that I think this curse came from Daniel Say after we cut him off in his post-game or post-champs interview when Shotzi and Prayer just lifted the trophy because he was taking too fucking long to speak. I think he officially cursed us. He was like, "Oh, you fuckers want to cut me off? Well, I'm gonna cut your season short next season." But yeah, we're looking pretty mid right now. Given Miami beat FaZe, but I don't. Was it on FaZe's like good maps or no? Like, are FaZe good at any of the maps that they play, or were they also testing maps?
They played Vault, which FaZe doesn't usually play. Dealership, new map. Posse Control, FaZe is really good at, as far as I remember. And then Red Card, I don't remember if FaZe has played a lot of Red Card. There's 7 and 5 on Red Card. So a couple maps, like the red card and the Hossie control is definitely one that FaZe has played and looked pretty good on. But I mean, Miami just took it to him, man.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say, that guy's super is nasty.
Mm-hmm.
S&D, he's godlike at S&D, but he's been looking like their best player in like the past couple matches. I will say that. I mean, my guy is absolutely dealing damage. He had 16 on this map too, and he dropped like a 1.2 or 1.2 something or 1 point whatever, what 1.3 against us, and he's absolutely disgusting. So. Love the kid, but Jesus Christ, we need to figure it the fuck out. I know JP said that their comms were pretty shit this weekend, and Spawner GG posted a video of where JP was like, if our comms sound like that every time, we're not going to make a Sunday. And I agree with him. Like, there was just nothing that stood out to me. We played like ass against both teams, which is so weird because I feel like, again, in scrims, it's totally different. But I expect them to play somewhat similar to how they play in scrims. And in scrims on Vault, we looked absolutely fucking godlike. Like no team was beating us on that in scrims. But then when it comes to matches, we just can't win it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. But again, the entire team isn't playing well. We're not playing like a unit. It's giving me flashbacks to how we were playing last major. These last two matches, given we won the first two. We looked comfortable against C9. We looked comfortable against Rocker in some aspects, but we still went game 5 with him. I think if we can play how we play against C9 versus every other team, even like Toronto and Thieves and FaZe, we can make it somewhat interesting. We still may lose, but we can still make the maps closer. But right now, I just don't know what needs to happen. Like we're in 8th place. Or like I think we're tied for like 6th, 7th, 8th. I think because there's a couple teams that have 130. But Jesus Christ, if they don't make champs, oh my god! Again, I think they will make champs. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know what needs to happen with this team, man. This team is just that screenshot of Shotzi after they lost to.
He was mind blown.
Dude, he was fucking mind blown.
He looked like he did, like he was looking at the screen like the match never even started.
Like
he was just shocked.
Again, Jay, I don't know what needs to happen, but they got to figure it the fuck out. Because come on, brother, we're at major 3 already. We have one more major, and then we have champs. So let's get it going, guys, please, for the sake of my mental health and every other Optics fan's mental health. Or else I'm gonna have to watch Halo and actually enjoy it. Like Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, that's all.
I've had some time to reflect. And I usually don't go back and watch that. I watch back every Optic match that they win. I usually don't watch them back if they lose. But I missed both series this weekend, so I forced myself for the sake of the podcast to go back and watch. Believe it or not, I think it felt more miserable watching when I knew the result than probably watching in real time. But I've taken the last 48 hours to reflect, and I think I have a different viewpoint on the rest of this season. And here's going to be my rant for the next few minutes. Okay? This season is chalked. This season's chalked. I genuinely would be stunned, in a very good way, if anything positive were to come from this season. Genuinely. If anything were to positive come for the rest of the year, I'd be positively shocked, but I don't see it happening. So I took that and I tried to reflect on, Optic as a whole. And I'm going to just sit and remember that I was able to watch them hoist a trophy last season, and that's what I'm gonna use as like some positivity for the rest of the season. It's very difficult to consistently win in this league. An Atlanta FaZe team that we all talk high and mighty about has won one time in the CDL, one time, and they are everybody's golden child team. Rightfully so, they are unbelievable. But it's very, very hard to win consistently. Now, this by no means is me excusing this season. It's not. This season's unacceptable on every stretch of the imagination. A team of this caliber of players should never be this bad. But I found myself in solace having the opportunity to watch them hoist that trophy last year, and I think that's what I'm going to focus on for the rest of the year. I don't want to expect too much out of them, considering at the start of the year, 2 weeks in, we had a roster change. And I should have known from that very moment that nothing good was going to come from this season. When you have a world championship roster that breaks up 2 weeks into a brand new season, the chances of having anything good come from that season are very slim. And we are witnessing the effects of that roster change to this day. So it sucks. I want to watch them win all the time. But I'm realizing now more than ever that's not possible. And even though all of these guys are freakishly talented players, sometimes it's just not their year. And that's this year for them. It's just not their year. It's not their year way more than any of us could have ever imagined, but it's not their year. And at this point, I'm not okay with it, but I'm starting to accept it a little bit more. And I'm almost at the point that I'm looking forward to next season. Not quite there yet. We still have to fight for a champ spot. If I don't get to watch them perform at champs, I'm going to be fucking pissed. They got to at least make champs. I don't care if they're the 8th seed, but they got to make champs. But for the most part, I'm kind of looking forward to next season. I very highly doubt that any good comes from the rest of this year. Just me being genuinely honest and accepting the fate.
It's probably a good mindset to be in, right?
Yes.
To not give yourself any expectations for this season other than make champs, which you could potentially be let down on that one too, but who knows?
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm going to stop setting expectations so high for this team, which sucks because they should have high expectations. But I'm going to stop because I'm just going to continually be let down. And I feel like if I just set the precedent and the standard that they won last year, I'll feel a little bit better that this year has been a total, utter mess, complete failure, catastrophic disaster, fucking nuke, whatever you want to call it. Terrible. That's my mindset.
Hey, the difference between Optic fans and Cowboys fans is we actually got to watch our team win a chip. A ring.
That's true, man. That is true. I also wanted to say Luke dropped $5 super chat earlier. Shout out to Luke. He said, Kenny going positive, Pred moving on the map. I feel like the problem is still on the team. And I think he brings up an interesting point, right? Kenny leaves Optic. He goes to Rocker. Goes from a 0.6 to a 1.0 pretty much at the minimum. Pred leaves Optic. He goes to Falcons. I was watching this guy fucking move on the map. I still did, he did a little bit of his lay G here and there, but he was not like just laying in a corner waiting for things to happen. He was pushing pace and he was matching Xnid. So it's interesting to see those guys leave and kind of look a bit better. Look a bit better than maybe they did previously on Optic. Look a bit more comfortable. And it could, right, obviously, it could be something to do with what they were doing on Optic previously. It could be the new teams that they're on, just the system or whatever it is just benefiting them right off the rip, right? There's obviously so many different factors. There's no way to specifically say what the thing is. But, like people in chat are saying, Optic has already talked multiple times of recent weeks of playstyle disagreements and Kenny wanting to play a certain way and other people not wanting to play that way and people not wanting to play into the same system that maybe others wanted to. So it's definitely interesting, man. It's definitely interesting. And people keep bringing up the question, is it time for Dashy and Shotzi to split up? So I'm going to pose the question to you guys first. I'll let you guys answer first. What do you think? Is the Dashy and Shotzi duo, which we've had this is the 4th season, Vanguard MW2, MW3, and now BO6? Right? So this is the 4th year of Dashy, Shotzi. They talked about this on the flank. Some people said yes, some people said no. People have been talking about this in chat. People have been talking about Reddit, Twitter. I've seen a ton of split answers, so I want to know what you guys think. Is it time to split?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
My answer is going to be no, too, but I'll let Alex explain first.
Okay, I'll explain. So, Vanguard, they won once. After that, bunch of team turmoil, bunch of team changes. The team was never able to get fully adjusted. That's the excuse or whatever you want to say for that year. MW2, I mean, they kind of did, and then they kind of didn't, and then they brought him back, and then Scump retired, and then Illy came, and then he was out, and then Hook was in, and then Ghosty was in. And I mean, we can see how good this team can be last year. Obviously, they won champs, they won Toronto. So I don't think so. I just think just the players, the other two are key factors in how this team plays, but I don't think they need to split at all.
I want to see Dashy and Shotzi stick together for the rest of their careers, personally. I don't think this season reflects too much for me. They suck. Again, I mean, they suck. You guys will hear me say probably for the rest of the season. They are not good at this game. But overall, that is a very, very, very strong duo to build a team around every year and be competitive for the most part, barring this, like I said, catastrophe. They've been competitive, even though they haven't won too much. They've been competitive every single season that they've been teaming together. So, I would love to have this duo stick, regardless.
I mean, so why stay together if they keep having bad luck? I mean, you act like they choose to have bad luck every year. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
This season, like, they're just... I keep beating a dead horse. They're just not good at this game, right? They're just not good at this game. But that's not to say that next year they don't go and they feel much comfortable on the map together and they're good at next year. Nobody really knows. It's a question mark. But I don't think they should break up this duo this season because of the year that they've had. It's felt like it's been cursed from the beginning. Genuinely, like it's been cursed from the beginning. So
Champs curse, man.
I think you give it another go. And if you have a replica season next year, halfway through, we'll talk about splitting. But I just think that duo is far too talented to not have that foundation. It's at the end of the day, no matter who the fuck you are, how much you hate them, I don't care. Genuinely, you're entitled to your own opinion. But this is Optic, right? This is Optic. This is probably 50+% of the CDL. The other 11 probably make. I'm
50.
not even.
It's probably 70.
Okay. Well, I was being generous because LAT also have a lot of fans.
Nah, I mean, maybe Gentlemate's cut into it a little bit, but it's the majority of the CDL is riding on Optic.
I do not care who you are. This is Optic. And if you're Optic and you're going into a new season with nobody on your roster, I don't know the last time that's happened. Genuinely. I don't even think I could remember off the top of my head the last time they went fresh into a season because they've had Scump forever. And then since Dashy's been here, they practically had Dashy forever. So it's been way before I started watching. This is Optic. This isn't like an LAG. This isn't a fucking Carolina. This isn't a team that changes their roster every single season. This is Optic. And I think that Dashy and Shotzi are both high caliber enough players to maintain that foundation on Optic. So there's my take on that. They got to be competitive. Again, I know. This year, whatever. They suck. I get it. Okay? I understand. But it's still Dashy and Shotzi.
Yeah. I think as we've seen with this duo, it comes down to who their teammates are. It like comes down to, and when they were at their best, they had a leader. Like they had a guy who set a system, who brought a mindset to practice, who knew what it took and instilled in his teammates how to play winning COD. And obviously, with everything that happened this year, in some way, shape, or form, that shit went out the window, right? Because that's what they had in MW3. They didn't have it anywhere in BO6. They hit a reset. They bring in Skies and Hook. Not really working. They got to find, in my opinion, a guy like Kenny again. And I don't know that necessary. I don't think Kenny's coming back. You never know. Maybe he does, right? Who you can't predict the future. But they got to find a guy like that that's going to bring the team together and bring the right mindset and the right leadership in game when the coaches can no longer really do anything to help the team. So I think the duo sticking together obviously makes sense, right? Like, for one, they're definitely never dropping Shotzi. You drop Dashy, he goes to Toronto Ultra for Insight, I saw people talking about. That team would be disgusting. You drop Dashy and he goes to literally any other team pretty much, and that team is going to get better. Bar FaZe. And maybe you can make an argument for Thieves. But, like, other than that, every other team's getting better. So, like, you don't really want to drop those guys. Now, if Dashy retires or something like that, it's a whole different story, right? But Jose dropped $2 super chat. Shout out to Jose. Appreciate you. He said, would Hex allow Shotzi to poach an LAT player? Chat, we got to have a
Brother, I don't even think Nate Shot's letting Shotzi poach any LAT players.
We got to chat. We got to have a real, honest conversation. Scrap and Hydra are not going to Optic next season. After that, you never know what can happen. There is not a chance in the world that unless Scrap and Hydra start physically throwing hands with each other at their setups, that they are going to break up. Now, if the team shit continues to not do anything, there's a world where Envoy or maybe even Dan Ghosty is available. But Scrap and Hydra are not leaving LAT. Why would the Thieves spend probably $500,000 or more to buy out the players? I'm not even talking about their contracts right now. I'm talking about buy them from Ultra and buy them from Cloud9 to let them leave after one season. If you truly think Hydra and Scrap would be let leave off of Thieves, and also those guys probably want to play together for like the rest of their careers, like I said, unless they literally start throwing hands, they're not going to Optic next season. Beyond that, like I said, is a different story. Once Thieves contracts are up, they might be right over to Optic. Who really knows? But they're not leaving Thieves, nor are Thieves letting them leave after one season under the banner.
Yeah, I should have known. I literally should have known when I made that tweet. The amount of scraps that I saw on my reply to my tweet was fucking unbelievable on my chat, dude. They are not breaking up. I could see them splitting between maybe Dan and, like you said, Dill, but Paco and Scrap are on LAT for minimum this year and next year. Minimum. It is what it is.
It just would not like make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense to let him go after spending that much money. I saw Noticer said, like, what if Hex says he'll buy them out for the exact same amount of money that Nade spent basically to get them, right? I mean, that would obviously make it a lot easier. I would make it more likely, for being honest. But it sounds insane to think that the superstars would leave their current rosters to go to Thieves to form this team, and then after one season, unless they truly like shit the bed the rest of the year, like we're talking like don't even make another grand final type thing, it just wouldn't make sense. Like, why would Thieves let Scrap or Hydra go? Wouldn't you just keep the superstar duo and put other pieces around them, like FaZe did in Vanguard when they didn't win anything? You keep the superstars and you make a change for Arcades, right? Like, that's what you would do. You would keep Scrap and Hydra, and you would say, all right, let's bring in another sub for Envoy, or let's bring in another AR for Ghosty, right? I don't want to see either of those guys go. But that's just the reality of it. And people are telling me I'm coping. I actually genuinely think that is like the most level-headed, unbiased take on the situation. There's just no reason from a business perspective you would let those players go after what you had to do to get them to come. But hey, what do I know, man?
Yeah, no, we're not getting any of these players. We're not getting any FaZe players. And I think that's just that. I think we're gonna have to shop around from the other teams and see what team we can make that will be competitive enough to keep up with those two teams.
Yeah. It also, I saw them talking about this on the flank. I don't know if it was last night or Saturday, whatever night it was. There's going to be like some money going around this offseason that I think it's going to make it harder for Optic to get players than maybe people would think. Because you got to think, right? Falcons have Pred. Pred wants a good team around him. They're going to throw some bags out at some free agents to get him on that team. LAG, who I'm guessing is going to rebrand the Gentlemates next year probably, they almost signed the LA Thieves team this offseason. They clearly want a super team. They clearly want to spend money. And obviously Optic might spend money as well, right? They've been willing to spend money in the past, and they're the org you want to go to if you're playing in the CDL, if you're playing competitive Call of Duty. But like, I've been thinking like maybe Sib comes to Optic, right? Like he's going to be a great second AR free agent, I think, that's out there. Bro, who's to say Falcons don't throw him double the salary contract and he goes to team up with Pred again, right? Like, who's to say these other teams, LAG and Falcons, don't start snagging some Optic, the players Optic want out from underneath them? Like, I actually think free agency this year is going to be kind of insane with the options some of these upper end people are going to have when you have LAG, Optic, and Falcons probably having a bidding war.
I don't know. I still think, like, regardless, that Optic still has the Optic juice. Even if the money's a little bit less, I still think probably half the people in the CDL would take the Optic offer. Genuinely, I do. There's so much more that comes with Optic offer than just money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make,
but like, what if the Falcons offer him like 4x the salary?
4x, like if they give him like a fucking $2 million salary, I'd beat the fuck out of you myself.
Like, what if Optics like, we'll give you 150K, and the Falcons like, we'll give you 500 to come play for us. We'll give you 600 to come play for us and team with Pred. Like, I know what you're thinking, but like, dude,
I don't know. I think you can make that money in a year from just being on Optic anyway.
I don't know, bro. You get that type of money in like one, you sign your, obviously you don't get it in one lump, but like you don't have to do any extra work to get that guaranteed. I think, I mean, listen, I don't know the mindset of most players in a league, but most players don't make content now. So if they get to continue to do what they're doing and get a lot of money, it's something to think about. But I do think a lot of players would take the Optic offer. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
Money does talk, but because the contract that Optic could offer isn't the money there, doesn't mean that Optic doesn't get you money somewhere else. That's always the way it'll be. So there's like always gonna have a conversation. Now that being said, people might see that $500,000 contract that potentially gets thrown their way from the Falcons, and there you go, you can take it. But I would say 85%+ of the time you take the Optic offer, genuinely.
Unless you're Draza. Which
kind of worked out for both parties, actually.
I mean, it actually did work out for both parties.
There you go.
That is something to say. And I see Matt said in chat, like, it makes no sense because then what if Falcons go to Nade to buy out Scrap and Paco? That's a very different scenario than Optic trying to get Scrap and Paco. Chat, I don't think you guys understand how much more money the Falcons have to spend than Optic does. Like, I know Optic is the biggest org in the scene. They probably got bread. But, like, they gave pay cuts to their players coming into this season. Like, they literally get salary cuts. The Falcons have millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. If they go to LAT and they say, Nate Shot, we'll give you $10 million for Scrap and Hydra, I would, you know what I'm saying, man? You could have them. I understand. You can have them. The business has to do what the business has to do. But that's very different than like Optic saying, oh, we'll buy him out for 500K. Like there's differences in that amount of money. Yeah, Falcons did just pay $2 million for Monacy and Counter-Strike.
Which honestly, again, I'm not mad at any of the top owners if they sell their players to Falcons. Because again, they always want to strive to make their business be as profitable as can be. And if Falcons go up to FaZe and say, we'll give you $5 million for your entire roster right now. Actually, 6.5.
Yeah, add extra money, $1.5 million on top.
You're not taking that? Like, come on, brother.
Yeah, and
like I as a FaZe fan, I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, okay, like shit, $6 million is $6 million. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
That would be insane. No, but chat, I think some of you guys in chat are really got your green wall glasses on. Like Rick said, I bet you Nade would rather sell them to Optic for less to keep them on the right side. I don't think we understand how businesses work in chat. If Nade Shot was like, we're gonna sell Scrap and Hydra and Optic offered 500K and Falcons offered 750, then sure, maybe he gives him the hex because that's his boy and that's where he came from. But if we're talking millions and millions of extra dollars on top, especially, and that's like just saying he wants them to go. Nate Shots literally said on stream he doesn't want to let them go ever, right? So it's definitely like very, very different. It's very, very different. So especially because like I'm sure the Thieves make hundreds of thousands of dollars on sponsor deals just because they have Scrap and Hydra, right? Selling that fan base. Think about how many extra fans they got. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting conversation, but I very, very much don't think Scrap and Hydra are going to Optic. I know that's how this all started, but I don't think they're going to Optic. Next season, again, I have to preface that. Next season, 2026, 2027 and beyond, the world's their oyster if the contract's up. But I would be shocked.
Let me ask you both a quick question, real quick. Mm-hmm. You literally have, so we got to move on to the next topic. You have like a minute to answer. Build the Optic roster next year. Being as legit as you can, as accurate as you feel possible.
Mm-hmm.
What's the roster heading into next season? Play GM for 60 seconds.
Shotzi Dashi. I'm trying to think.
I don't think Ultra let Joe walk.
No, I don't think they do either.
I look at think they run it back with that roster. No bullshit.
Woods. Woods gotta be like, dude.
I think I don't know.
Maybe Neptune.
You think Surge let Nep go?
I mean, I think Optic can offer more money than Surge can.
Yeah, but Nep's probably under contract next season.
You're right. Yeah.
Right now, listen. Optic, like, I know we're going to continue to talk about buyouts. I don't know how much money Optic has, right? Maybe they can buy out anyone they want. Maybe they can't buy out anybody. So
maybe they're fucking broke.
I'm trying to think of like people that they wouldn't have to buy out, especially like Joe DeCeves and Neptune. I don't think they're just going to let him go.
Where's that one Ben Janessine like contract tracker or whatever the fuck it is?
I don't think that thing's been updated.
It used to be a command in his chat, and then he took it down.
I don't think that thing's being updated.
Because I know Matt said Nep is not on a full deal, but I don't know. I mean,
he's got to be on a 1+1, right? Yeah. So next year they would probably want to re-sign him. I really don't know what that team could potentially be. Like trying to think about it realistically, where like maybe they avoid having to do buyouts, and you think about who could potentially be available. I think Sib is one of the big answers because he should be probably available.
Real, Snoopy, maybe?
I think Real also clearly seems somewhat available, being as there's been rumors of him being sold multiple times. It just depends how they close the season. If Miami closes the season as the top 4 team, right, they might not really try to make any change.
Snoopy would be my other thought.
Snoopy potentially, because he's probably going to be up for a new contract, and maybe he's going to get offers, and Boston's not going to be able to match because those guys are apparently broke.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe they could get like a Booza, but I kind of feel like he might go to LAG or something like that instead.
What the fuck?
I really don't know who their ideal, like, realistic roster is. Kismet? Shotzi and Kiz? Shotzi and Kiz, maybe. I mean, Kiz is an enabler. Let Shotzi kind of do his thing.
I want Dylan Rex, bro.
The Optic Bulldog? Yeah, I mean, I guess.
You want to hear my honest to God opinion?
Yeah, let's hear it.
If Joe DeCeves is available, you go for Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a no-brainer. If he's not, I think you go after Kenny and Astriel. That'd be the duo I'd want to come over. I think you run it back with Ken. If Ken is okay with coming over, of course. Everything that happened. But I think you bring over Kenny and Astriel.
Ultra is not letting them go. 1,000%.
I mean, what if there's a world where they let Kleenex go? I don't know what Kleenex contract's like, but he's been there for a minute. Maybe they, don't really have the season they want. They decide to make a change, and they say Joe DeCesa's been better. Let's build around Joe, and they let Kleenex and Insight walk. And I don't know that you take both of them because I don't really like Insight and Dashy together. But Kleenex and Shotzi, you got a headbutt and Kleenex. You got finesse and Shotzi. You bring Kenny over, Kenny and Kleenex with Shotzi and Dashy. If you can convince Kenny to come back.
That's either you can't breathe on the other team or you're getting shit on if you're Kenny or Shotzi and Kleenex. There is no in between.
I don't know. I really don't know what the most realistic option for them is. That's why I'm saying I think this free agency period is going to be insane this offseason.
I don't want Kenny back. You're faded.
Sorry,
Rick.
He quit on
us?
He quit on what?
He quit on who? We dropped him. What the fuck you mean he quit on us?
Well, he apparently benched himself is what the whole report was originally.
Nah, I don't believe that.
He was getting dropped either way, bro. Let's be honest. He was dropping .3s.
Like, brother was dropping a .6. I mean, I'd give up too. I'm getting farmed every fucking map I play. I dropped 3 kills on an entire control map.
That's Kenny, man. That's literally fucking Kenny. All right.
Yeah.
We can move on. I wanted to pose the question.
No, it's a good question. It is a good question. Wow, we talked about a whole bunch of random shit for a while there. Should we just move on? And no one really wants to hear us talk about matches anyway, man.
Yeah, let's just.
They go listen to the flank when they want matches. Let's get our pick'ems in. But first, let us just tell you real quick about 1v1 Me Chat, presenting sponsor of Around the CDL. If you guys haven't already, click the link down below. Check it out. You can use code ATC for a $10 stake at sign up. If you like watching streamers play like Chows and things like that, this is honestly the best thing you can do. You can literally go on here and watch these teams play. You can see their stats, their head-to-head matchups, so you can help, make the picks you want to do. But there's literal Twitch streams embedded into the app, and you can watch these streamers play the game, whether it's BO6 or Madden or 2K, things like that. You can see the games on screen here. So check them out. Let us know what you think. But shout out to 1v1 Me for being the presenting sponsor of Around the CDL. But now, let's do our pick'ems.
1v1 Me. Let's do it.
Now let's do our pick'ems. Last week was abysmal for, I think, most people in the community. I think as a whole, we all were, surprised with what happened. You're not going to talk about LAT struggling to beat Ultra lately? I mean, it's definitely a potential problem, but to be honest, I don't care what LAT do online. I just need to see what they do on LAN.
Yeah, I think they generally did that because they needed one loss, and they were like, Ultra's the most believable one, and we didn't want to go perfect again so that we don't get the curse.
Yeah,
that's how
I think they try to win. I think LAT obviously try to win. I don't think they're going to lose on purpose, but I definitely think the way Ultra plays counters LAT a bit. And dude, at the end of the day, like I said, it just doesn't matter to me what they do online. Now, if they're 0-5, it's a different story. But it just matters to me with how they play on LAN, because I know win or lose online, LAN time is truly the test for this team. So I don't even overreact anymore to how these guys play online. It just doesn't really phase me.
3 right, bro. Holy fuck.
Oh, shit.
You got 3 right?
Went 3 out of 10, bro.
Wait, 1, 2, 3. I got 4.
I got 5 right last week.
Yeah, you picked Carolina over Rocker. Those shit stains.
Mm-hmm. But let's do it, man. Let's do our pick'ems. And this week starts out with the fucking banger, bro. Miami Heretics versus Toronto Ultra. 2 of the top teams in the game. I mean, this is probably going to be the decider for number 1 seed heading into Major 3, because both of these teams are likely to end 4-1, and obviously the tiebreaker, if Ultra wins this, would end 4-1. The tiebreaker would be the one here. So what do you guys think, man? Do you think this super team, see what I did there? I didn't mean to do that on purpose, but do you think this team with super continues to play like a super team?
I don't know, to be honest. I think this might be the toughest match to pick this weekend, because Miami's playing really well. Toronto, they beat FaZe and they got 3-0 by Boston. You can blame it on exit lag or whatever the fuck, online cheese, and then they looked relatively well against Lat yesterday as well. But Miami had been looking really good though. I might go Miami, no bullshit. I don't know. Fuck it, I'll go Miami 3-2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ultra 3-2. I kind of want to go Miami, but I also don't want to go Miami. So for that reason, I'm gonna go Ultra.
Fair. I'm going Miami 3-2. I'm gonna match Alex here. I think the ARs on Miami provide much more slaying power than the ARs on Ultra, and I think they're gonna make up the difference here in this match. Now on LAN, I'd probably go the other way around, but online, I like what I see out of Miami, man. I like the playmaking from Super. I like the pace he sets on the map. And I also think Toronto's a good SND team. This Miami team right now looks great in SND. So, I mean, Super's averaging like 12 kills a map in Search and Destroy, it feels like. So, I'm going Heretics, man. Why not? Why not? All right, then we got Cloud9 versus Boston Breach in the next matchup. Dude, this is the battle of like
What
the coin.
fuck?
This is the coin flip teams. You flip a coin. Are they gonna play good or are they gonna play like shit?
I mean, Cloud9, they just reverse swept. Who they reverse sweep? I don't even remember.
Rocker.
Rocker, right?
Mhm.
Kenny's legs were poking out.
Oh my god, on the last dude, I can't believe that, bro.
His Piggly Wigglies were poking out, and they lost that. But I mean, Attach he saved himself with that 1v1.
I'm going Boston 3-2. I'll go first. I'm gonna give it to Boston. I think they've just been more consistent. And I think Snoopy's gonna run amok on Mac, bro. I think Mac's gonna get absolutely torta pounded in this series. So I'm gonna go Boston 3-2.
Oh yeah, I'll match that.
I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm so far behind. I gotta go opposite of everything you guys do. So
That's fair.
I'm gonna go C9 in a game 5. I'm gonna pick last the entire time.
That's fine. That's fine.
If both of you go with the same one, I'm going the opposite just because I gotta make up some
All right.
fucking points.
Well, let's see if you go the opposite in this next one, because the next one is a battle of LA. LAT versus LAG. It would only be fitting for LAT to lose this series, but I fear that they will not, and I'm going to go LAT 3-0.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm gonna go LAG 3-2. They win a game 5.
This guy is doubling in on it, man.
I have no choice. I'm down by like 13.
You're going to
at
be
this
down
rate.
17 if you keep this up.
Now, I mean, hey, only chance I have to make it out, and it's just go.
Chad, this guy's giving up, man. I respect it, though. I mean, it is the only way you come back. Okay, we go to Saturday. We got the Cloud9 New York versus the Vancouver Surge. It would only be right for C9 to somehow win this series after losing to Boston the day before. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I'm going Surge 3-1.
I'll take that as well.
I'm gonna C9 in game 5.
Preston is going to have every underdog in a game 5 in his picks, bro.
I'll go 3-2 C9.
That's insane. Okay, Miami Heretics versus the Minnesota Rocker. Do we think who wins the game 5? Who wins the game 5 is the question.
I got Miami 3-2.
I also have Miami 3-2.
I got Rocker in a game 5. You know what I'm saying? Run it back. Every single game I have so far is game 5 underdog.
This guy really wants to come back. Chat, I haven't updated the pick'ems, but I think he's genuinely like 15 plus games behind right now, like 15 plus picks behind. Poor guy. Okay, then we got Toronto versus LAG. Alex, what do you think?
Toronto 3-0.
Damn.
Toronto 3-0.
I am also going to go Toronto 3-0.
I'm going to go LAG in a game 5.
Oh my god. He's going to get 0 points this week, bro. He's going to get 0. Also, Splitty with the 99 Australian cents, bro. Splitty, thank you. All right, then we got Vegas Falcons versus Atlanta FaZe. Wow. What a matchup, man. What kind of Falcons are we going to get on this day?
I think it was the most optic thing to hand Falcons their first win, sorry. But FaZe isn't letting that shit slide, so I'm going to go FaZe 3-1.
I am also going to go FaZe 3-1.
I'm going to go Falcons in a game 5.
I didn't see that one coming, man. I didn't see that one coming. That's actually insane. Okay, we go to Sunday. Falcons versus Breach. I'm going to go Vegas Falcons, bro, in this series. I'm going to go Vegas Falcons over Boston Breach. I'll send it 5 because why not? But I think they match up. Their hardpoint's been their best mode, and I think Boston's been decent in hardpoint as well this season. Kind of relies on it. Fuck it, man. I'm going Falcons over Boston. Yeah, Preston's going to have the longest weekend of all time if these all went game 5.
I'll go Boston over Falcons 3-2.
All right, I'm gonna go Falcons in a game 5.
I gotta go with my guy Snoopy.
I should change my pick based on what Preston picks, low key, because that guy doesn't know anything, man. Okay, then we get to the big one, man. We get to the main event of the weekend: Optic versus FaZe, the CDL El Clasico.
FaZe 3-0. Like I'm talking about, we're gonna get piss slammed.
Oh my god, fake Optic fan chat.
Like genuinely, it's not gonna be close.
I agree though. I'm going FaZe 3-0. Can he do it? Will he do it is the question.
I think this is like the obvious one where you gotta go with it, right?
I'm gonna go FaZe 3-0.
Damn, he's picked every upset chat except for Optic. These guys are fake fans, man. These guys are fake fans.
I love my team. I'm always rock with them, but I do not want to come last and have to do whatever chat says I have to do.
You're very far from last, brother. Preston's got you. Don't worry.
I actually took Optic 3-2, by the way.
Did you actually?
I did, yeah.
Wow. Okay, last match of the weekend. We got LAT versus the Ravens. The new Ravens, should I say. The Dylan Rex Ravens.
I'll give Dylan Rex map 1. He's dropping 45, but then they lose 3-1.
I'm going to go Ravens 3-2. Every single series, game 5 this weekend.
I'm going... I'll go with the map. I'll go 3-1 LAT.
He hit me with a stun.
All right, well, those are the pick'ems, chat. Hopefully, I mean, listen, it's either Alex and I get like everything correct or Preston gets everything correct. Or there's maybe a mixture, but somebody might be really down bad after this week. But it's the last weekend of quals, man. Literally after this week is Major 3. Major 3 is just 2 weeks away, so that's kind of insane to think about. I mean, 2 weeks from now, we'll be doing a show about Major 3, which is wild. So let's go, man. Let's go. Shout out to the pick'ems, but chat, that means it's time to do the tier list, man. It's time to do the tier list and to rank these players as of April 14th, 2025, talking about BO6 only. Okay, this is only BO6. This is not career. This is not last year. It is strictly Black Ops 6, and this is going to be a thorough tier list, not like our speed one we did last week. We're actually going to try to make this as good as we possibly can. So chat, as we go along, if you're in the live chat right now, play along with us. Let us know what you think about each player. But I kind of mix the players up to give them somewhat of a random order. So let's get it started, man. Abuza is our first player on the list. Where do we... And we're going to try our best to put it like in some order. So Abuza, our first player, we think B tier?
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's probably pretty good for Abuza. All right, then we got TJ Haley. What do we think about Tej, the Cookie Monster?
Probably B above Abuza, is my opinion.
Probably another B tier.
I also agree. Tej was a point of contention in the tier list video I uploaded. People told me that I had him underrated in B tier and that he should have been A. If you actually go look at what Tej has done, I think people are blindsided by a couple of the peaks he's had. It's actually something I wanted to talk about real briefly. The way that like storylines shape the mindset of fans about certain players and teams in the CDL is insane. Like Tej is a stretch of really good games, and everyone talks about how great and how Tej's career is revived and how he's godlike with the Jackal, and Nameless is talking about how he's top 10 on the broadcast and all these things. When you actually go look at what Tej has done this year, he is like the epitome of like a solid B tier player. But because of the like 2-3 week span, we talk about how Tej was like top 10 player. People like they like only think of that when you mention TJ. Like you mentioned Tej and they think about, oh my god, Tej was godlike, and people think he should be an A tier. So it was a point of contention in my last video. People were commenting, calling me like an idiot. My list was terrible because I had Tej in B tier. But I actually think like B towards top of B potentially is probably where he should be. Also, shout out to the Amazon Prime ad on the screen, man. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. They got to pay us. All right, then we got Johnny. Obviously, we can only do based on what we've seen for him so far. So, for the new players, do we want to literally do strictly off of what we've seen, or do we want to dock them a little bit just because they haven't played as much?
I think I do just based off what we've seen. If we're doing it for every other player, keep it fair and simple.
Well, I'm just thinking because like Super might be S tier, but do we really think Super should be in the S tier?
No, it'll probably be like A, B.
C, D, E, F, G.
This tier list is for the whole season so far, chat. All right, what do we think for Johnny then?
I'll just see.
I was gonna go low B. I think
I was going to
Johnny's
say
their
B.
best
I was going
player.
to say B.
I think Johnny's been frying.
I'll say B. I think because he hasn't played as much, he shouldn't be like over some of these other players, even though maybe so far he's been better than potentially the two here. But I think putting him in the back end to B tier right now is fair. Preston, agree? Alex, agree?
Yep. Works for me.
Okay, next up we got Exnid. We got your guy, Preston. We got your guy. Where do you think we should put Exnid?
It's starting to be a B tier list, you know what I'm saying? I think he's going right in that B, man.
Yeah, for the entire season, I'll go B. Like probably either like in between a Boozer, Teej, or at the top of that list.
Man, Jake wants to put him in C.
I think back of B. I think back of B tier. Like I wouldn't put him. Maybe you could put him over Johnny just because he's played the whole season, but I wouldn't put him over a Boozer or a Teej personally.
Fair enough.
What do we think?
You can always go back and change.
Yeah, all right. So we'll slot him right there next to Johnny for now. All right, we got Awakening.
C. C, sure.
Well, I mean, Preston, what do you think? C or D?
D.
Recently,
Maybe low C.
Yeah, he's either low C or like top D. Because he has been a little bit better, but he was pretty cheeks for like the entirety of stage one.
We can make him the worst player in C if you want.
All right, let's put him there for now. All right, then we got Lunars. Lunars has been underwhelming.
He has.
Yeah,
He's been underwhelming, unfortunately.
C. I'd still take him over Awakening, though.
Yeah, 1,000%.
All right, I agree with that. All right, and we got Gwyn. The Gwinternet, as many might be calling him online. Where do we think Gwyn slots out, right? It's the whole season, so we do have to remember how he plays on LAN, how he's played on LAN.
Top of B, bottom A?
Yeah, probably B. Somewhere around, honestly, probably right next to Teej, if I'm being honest. Probably right next to Teej.
Luke with the $2. Thank you, Luke. He said Gwyn A tier online, C tier on LAN.
Makes him B tier in my eyes, you know what I'm saying?
I kind of think he's bottom A tier. I think you gotta
okay
think like he is so godlike.
I love Gwyn.
Like he's so good online, and online is like 75% of the season.
Okay, I'm okay with. But with
top of B, low A, I think is fair.
I'm okay with Gwyn bottom A. I am.
Bottom A, I'm cool with that. I love Gwyn.
Yeah,
Gwyn is a great guy.
B, so bottom A doesn't bother me that much.
Yep.
I'm Ronnie.
All right, then we got Scrap. Where do we think Scrap should go?
S.
I put him in the D tier, but I guess we could put him in.
Shit.
Honestly, we could put him in the D tier, and his head with how long his neck is, his head will end up in the S tier.
Oh Jesus!
You know what I'm saying? Nah, sad Scrap. All right, then we got Arceus. Obviously, he hasn't not played a ton. He's had some rough maps and some great maps.
Yeah, he started the first series out really rough, but he's been playing much better since then.
I'll go C.
I'd probably go somewhere towards the top of C, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say put him at the top of C from what we have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely started a little rough, gotten a lot better. I could see him continuing to move up as the year progresses. All right, we got Beans. Beans is one of those players that like flies under the radar low key. Like you don't talk because how good Joe Deceives and Clean Joe Deceives specifically has been. You don't really talk about Kleenex are Insight or Beans that much, honestly.
Yeah, I'll go A.
I'm
He's
good with
been
that.
good online. He's been good
A?
on online.
Above
So,
Gwyn
yeah.
or behind Gwyn?
Above.
Okay.
He's been good on both online and land, so he gets the edge.
Shout out to Beans. All right, then we got Simp.
S.
Oh yeah, S.
Above Scrap or below Scrap?
That's up
I
to
have
you
him
two.
below.
I'd put him above, but I know you two have him below. So
I actually had Simp above Scrap, but I actually think after this split so far, I'm putting Scrap over him.
okay, that's fine.
I think
I'm
his
genuinely
first
good
2
with.
weeks.
I'm good with either one. They're no matter which way you put it, they're right next to each other.
I mean,
they're
yeah.
either 3 and 2 or 2 and 3
Yeah.
or whatever. So
He's still easily in the MVP conversation. All right, then we got Cammy. What do we think about Cam? Is Cammy
Right
better or worse than
between-
Awakening?
They're about the same. They're both S.
yeah,
To be
probably
honest,
around the same.
I'd
I'll put him like.
I'd probably
right next
lean
to-
in Cammy's favor.
I'm still putting him C though.
I'd probably put him in between Arcties and Lunars.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I'm cool with that.
I think Cammy has been has been a little bit better than Awakening, a little more consistent, even though they both have been inconsistent and have low floors. All right, then we got Kleenex. Toby. Got to be A tier, right?
I think so.
Top of
A
A tier?
Right.
Yeah, probably. Where do you
Yeah,
want to put him?
Why? Where do you
wanna
think,
put him?
Alex?
I was gonna put him behind Beans.
You think on the over the whole season, Beans has been better than Kleenex? I don't think that's it's absolutely insane.
I'm okay with that. I think Beans is underrated, so I'm good with that.
Chat, what do you guys think? Who do you think has been better this season? Insight, Kleenex or Beans? Let's see what chat says.
Wow.
That's what we're gonna say. Kleenex, no bullshit.
Kleenex, Beans, Kleenex. It's a tie. Beans takes the lead. Splitting. Wow, okay, chat agrees. Chat agrees with your Beans take.
Cool.
I think they're pretty close. I think obviously they're both so valuable to that team. So okay, next up we got Dashy. What do you think about Brucey?
Behind Kleenex and Beans, in front of Gwen.
I agree. I think he's not any lower than A tier. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I think Dashy's been the backbone for Optic, so I think him in A tier is fair. I've also, chat, if you guys watch my tier list video, I've done some readjusting and thinking, especially over the last couple weeks. So I'm definitely thinking a bit. So some of that stuff might look different from my list, which is good. All right, then we got Mac. Mac was their best player in stage 1, and he was their worst player in stage 2.
Yeah, it's been so downhill since then,
So,
unfortunately.
I think he's got to be C.
He's either top of C, like above our cities, or very bottom of B. Probably, for me. What do we think, Alex?
We could put bottom of B. Alex said bottom of B.
Bottom of B?
You think so?
Like,
we'll put him at the very bottom, like behind Johnny and Exton.
I think so. I think that's fair.
Again, chat. We're gonna look at this at the end and change players.
Yeah. We'll adjust at the end. Like if the A tier is like super thick or something like that, then we might move some people down or something. But we'll adjust. All right, then we got Draws. We actually got a stretch of really good players coming up, or interesting players to talk about. And we got Draws up.
Top A.
I'd put Draws either first today or in between Beans and Toby.
I think first tonight. I think first tonight based on right now.
Works for me. That works for me.
Okay, Shotzi.
This sucks, bro.
No bullshit. Yeah. I was gonna say top of B.
I put him.
But I could see mid B. Yeah.
I'd put him below Booza, unfortunately.
Alex?
I agree with that.
I think this season he's just the definition of mid, unfortunately. He's quite literally just not been himself, which sucks. But I think it's just, if we're being fair and completely transparent, I think that's where we got to put him.
No, it's fair. That's fair. Okay, Envoy. Where's Dylan Envoy this season?
Honestly, at one point looked like their best player. I'd probably go low A, low key, right around Gwyn.
Higher or lower than Gwyn?
Alex wants B.
Alex just said higher than Gwyn, so.
You want higher than Gwyn?
Yeah, I mean he's played better than Gwyn online, so.
But worse than Dashy? I'm good with that. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him. Envoy's been really
Yeah.
good on land, and he's
Yeah, I'm good with that.
super clutch. All right, we got Pred. Pred has had a weird year, right? It's kind of
He's
hard to
had-
judge because he's been all over the place.
This is such a hard judge right here. Oh. We could just put him
B.
one above Shotzi just for the fucking trolls. That'd be fucking comedy. We could put him right above Shotzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put them right next to each other.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. All right, Neptune.
S.
Oh yeah, that's S.
Neptune and S, bro.
Yeah, right there. Exactly
sure.
where you have him.
For sure. All right, Priesta.
D.
Is he our first D tier?
He's got to be our first D tier. He's played better on this Falcons team, but his splits before that were just so catastrophically bad.
Yeah. He's had like 2 good series this season, I feel like.
Yeah.
Both against Optic, funny enough.
You're not lying.
Hey, maybe because Optic's terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Then we got his ex-teammate, Skies.
C.
Yeah, see. Probably
Below Alec. Or
yeah.
yeah. I might put him above Alec, to be honest, but either before or after, I'm okay with.
I'd put him right below Alec.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair spot for him. He definitely, I mean, listen, the whole part of the season he was on LAG, he was getting poo-pooed on. Okay, Joe Deceives. Obviously S. Is he above or is he below Neptune? Right.
Below
obviously, this is not going to be like perfect, especially because we're 3 people, so we're not completely going to agree. But what do we think? Consensus.
I go below.
I'd put him below Nep, just because I mean Nep's made a grand final and
Fair.
beat Joe on the way to that grand final.
That's fair. That's fair, but he's definitely S tier. This guy Joe is godlike.
Oh, he's definitely S tier, but Nep literally just beat, just sent him home to make it to a grand final. I think it's only fair to put Neptune above.
All right, then we got Thanos, Slasher, Litigo. Slasher's had a pretty good season.
Oh my god, so over talking about this dude.
I think Slasher's been pretty good.
Everybody praises this fucking guy, and he's just had such an average season. I'm so over it. He gets so much glory for genuinely no reason. This is mid right here. Mid B. I'm sorry. If you guys want to go A, sure. But
no, I'm not going A. He's B for sure, but I think he's on the upper half of B.
I'd probably put him next to Abuza, either before or after.
No, he's not before Abuza. I'm cool with going after Abuza, but he's not before Abuza.
I mean, I think Gwyn and Tej have been on the whole this season better than him. So if I'm looking at his teammates, I'd probably put him. He probably will end up somewhere in like the top middle of B tier.
I honestly think that's probably right now where we have him the best spot we could have him. Worse than Abuza, but better than Pred. I think that's perfect.
Okay, Dylan Attach.
D.
He's got to be the second D. Unfortunately, I think he's got to be the second D.
Is he above Priesta though?
Yeah.
My bad, Attach, bro. My goat.
I love him, but he's just not. He's not been there this year.
I love Attach, bro. But you're not wrong. He hasn't not been good this season. Okay, Estriel. One of the underrated nods you hear a lot of people talk about.
A. Probably either above Gwyn, above Envoy, above Dashy, to be honest.
Honestly, right there.
Yeah.
You guys think that high?
I'd probably.
Do you have him right behind Kleenex?
I'd probably put him right in the middle of A. Right there. That's probably perfect, Alex.
Okay, I think you guys are a little higher than I am, but I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's democracy. There's nothing wrong with that. We try to come to a consensus. I probably would have him next to Gwyn, either before or after.
I think he's a dog. C? We're putting Estri on C? Have we watched?
I do think Estriel gets underrated because statistically sometimes it doesn't look insane. But I think with the plays he makes on the map and like the intangibles are really good. But I mean, listen, like I said, it's democracy, chat. That's where we're putting him, and we can revisit as we go. Okay, then we got Nasty. We got a 720p Scumpy.
He's been good as fuck.
I mean, he's been good. I say top of B.
He's
if not low A.
I might go in between. I might go in between Gwyn and Envoy, bro. He's been good as fuck.
He has been good. Ever since Nap came on the team, he's been really good.
I'd probably that's where I would put him. But if you guys want to put him below Gwyn, I'm okay with that too.
I'm okay
I think he's an A-tier player.
I'm okay with high B, low A.
I kind of like high A. I kind of like it because if you think about like
high A,
high A.
No, sorry, low A. I kind of like low A because if you think like if we put him in the B tier, I think he's been a tier ahead of his teammate Abuza. Right,
Yeah.
so I think low A makes sense.
I think that's good right there.
We got him in between Gwyn and Envoy, so which I think is fair. Okay, Jamie Insight. You know,
B.
Iron Boots
Probably
himself.
Like right worse.
A little underrated though. I think
Yes.
like he's just so under the radar because his 3 teammates have been so good.
Insight
Right
to
next
me
to
is
like
just
Slasher.
like he's just like the epitome of like just right in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
put it right next to Slasher. I think that's where it is.
Like he's just there.
that's fair.
You know,
That's fair.
he does his job. Maybe sometimes you wish he'd speed up a little bit, but he's just there. You know what I'm saying? He's just doing his thing.
I've seen a lot of C's in chat. I don't think he's C, chat. I think he's better than C.
Yeah.
But I can't put him in A either. I think B's good.
I mean, I think we could drop him and be a bit.
Chat, remember, we're going to go through this and tweak this a bit. I personally would put him below Shotzi, put him in between Shotzi and Exton.
I would too.
But then everybody's going to fucking cook us and say,
no, I would too. I would too. I mean, listen, Shotzi just inherently is just more impactful.
Yeah. That's probably where I would put him.
Yeah.
But we're going to go back and tweak. Promise, Chad. We're going to go back and tweak it. I promise.
Tyler Fellow. Not a whole lot of reps, obviously.
No,
he's been kind of okay. He's kind of been like Arcides, where he's had some good series and some bad series, I think, so far in the few he's played. But they also
I put him like right. Yeah, I put him like in between Caesar and Kimmy.
You think he's better than Lunars? So far?
I actually think I'd put him right behind Arcides.
Oh, okay. I'm down with that. I'm good with that. We can't put him in D. He's better than D. So he's got to go somewhere in C. So I'm down with that. I'm good with right behind Arceus.
Pretty much anywhere above Awakening, I'm okay with.
I'm fine with that.
Bet.
I'm good with that.
Okay, Dan Ghosty, the human UAV man.
A, low A. Probably above Gwyn. Below Gwyn.
I don't know. I love Dan, but he might be leading B for me. He might be leading B for me.
Top of A is crazy.
No, he's not top of A. He's either bottom A or he's top of B. One of those two. It's just a matter of where we want to put him.
I said right next to Gwyn, between Gwyn and Nasty. I think Nasty's been better than him.
So we either put him like first in B or last in A. What do you want to do, Jake? You want to put him last in A just to give your boy some gas?
I mean, I think he's A. I think before or after Nasty was my thought.
I think after. No bullshit.
After. I think that's good.
I probably would have said before, but I'm a little biased. You know I'm a little biased. Okay, Kismet. Kismet has, I mean, he is obviously LAG's staple player, best player this season, but I mean, he's been farming. Nobody doing anything. His teammates aren't doing nothing, so he's just kind of getting some farm.
I'll say like B right after Abuza, right before Abuza. I don't know. I think that's where I have him right now.
Yeah, I'd probably. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with after Abuza, before Slasher.
So right in the B-ish tier.
Yep, I think he's actually been pretty good, disregarding their entire season. But
if you actually don't look at anything that's happened this season, he's actually been good this season. I think that it might be a little high for me, but you know, like I said, we're gonna come back to it and we're gonna average it out.
Yeah, we'll average it out.
Okay, Kremp. C9's best player in my opinion.
He is C9's best player. I'd go A, to be honest. I'd go A. If not A, highest B for sure.
Yeah, top of B, low A. What is what I would say.
Would you take Kremp or Gwyn right now, Alex?
Crimp.
I would too. So I'll put it. I'm okay with putting him in between Dan and Gwen.
But remember, we all love Gwen. Gwen is very good. We love Gwen.
I think Kremp's fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I
think
honestly
Kremp's
would
really
even
good.
go. I'd even maybe go even a little bit higher in A, but for now I'm cool with that. Like I said, we can go back and I might even put him a little bit higher, like maybe right above Nasty. Maybe. I think Kremp's good as fuck.
Yeah,
I
no.
can see that.
We'll put him there for now, but I think Kremp A tiers makes sense. Okay, Purge. Purge is he's one of those players that like sometimes does things you don't see on the scoreboard too, like we said for some other players, but
yeah, I'll go B, like between like Excellent and Insight.
I was gonna say between Johnny and Mac. I think somewhere at this back end of B tier, or even the top end of C tier, I think is I think I'd take Purge over Mac. Is what my initial thought was.
Okay. I was gonna say C tier, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking Purge over Mac.
Okay. Hydra.
S.
Where? I guess where in S is more the question. Is he above or below Joe D. Nepp? In between? Chat, what do you guys think? Where do you guys think Hydra comes in? Also, Toby with the 99-cent super chat. Toby, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Toby, are you doubting because you want to get moved up more on the list?
I'd put him above Nep. I'd put him in between Simp and Nep right now.
I'm not mad at that.
Okay. There we go. Listen, I'm down with that, man. You know, I'm not gonna argue with Hydra in number 3 right now. I can argue with that. Okay. Real. I think Real's good, bro.
Yeah, I think he's top of A.
I think Real's good.
Is he Kleenex good?
Yes. I'm trying to think because Real has some maps and some series where I think he kind of like Rencore maybe will like pick up the slack for him.
Yeah. I was gonna say like either behind Kleenex or ahead of Kleenex.
I'm good with in between. I think in between Estrio and Kleenex is pretty good for Real.
Fair. All right, Geo. We got a lot of people in the A tier, man.
Geo's good as fuck. He's just so inconsistent. That's gonna knock him down a tier for me. I think we would
probably.
Yeah, probably.
Where would you put him in comparison to Abuza?
I'd probably take him over Abuza, but Abuza's also. Honestly, I'm okay with him. Is that TH?
I'll put him above Abuza.
Yeah. Or after Abuza, but we could tweak. That's good. One of those two spots works.
Yeah. Okay, Hook.
This fucking guy.
Probably low A.
Hook is.
He has been.
When Hook is on the I think Hook being as having a stroke. Hook on Optic, I think, has been their best player. But he has not played for as long as Dashy, who I think has been their backbone of a player.
Yeah.
So
we could literally make him the lowest A if we want.
The lowest?
He's so hard to rate.
Like behind
He's
Gwyn?
actually.
I'll probably put him between Gwen and Crimp.
He's so hard to rate, bro.
I kind of think we could put him at like the top of A. Like I kind of think Hook is godlike at this game. Like I kind of feel like right near draws. Whether it's before or after, it doesn't really make. It's not that perfect. Like it doesn't really matter to me. But I kind of think Hook is disgusting. He's had like 1 or 2 bad series, but like he's been really good. He was good on LAN at Major 1. But listen, it's a consensus. It's a consensus. Do we want to put him somewhere closer to the middle since we've been kind of in between?
No, I mean, if you're going towards the top, I'm good with towards the top.
Yeah.
Anything to give the guy some gas.
Would you take Hook over Estriel?
Yes.
Would you take Hugo
Yeah.
over Real?
Probably not.
Alex?
Mm. I want to. I don't know, bro. I'll say yeah.
Okay, would you take Hugo over Kleenex?
No.
Preston? I'm guessing you're
No.
saying no because you said no to Real. Okay, there you go. 4th in the A tier. Okay, let's keep it going. We only got like 10-ish players left. Nero.
Top of B, right with Geo. They've both been inconsistent, but when they're on, they're on.
I put him right. I would put him very close to that, but I'd probably put him below Abuza.
I was going to say between Abuza and Kiz, I think is fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Medals.
Very mid tier.
He's so hard to rate.
Dude, Medals is another one of those guys that like he has a series like he did this past weekend versus like FaZe where he was just cooking. But then most of the time he's just kind of like not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, that's I'll put him like between Xnit and Insight, or between Xnit and Johnny.
What do you think,
Very
Preston?
mid tier.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Celium.
S.
S.
Where in the
Like,
S, I guess, is the question once again.
Probably one.
I
guess.
I have him at the 1. Yeah.
Cell number 1. I agree. Rencor.
I think it might be A. No bullshit.
Rencor is good, bro. Rencor is really good.
Rancor might be in between Beans and Kleenex. Maybe even above Beans. Really. I think Rancor is good as fuck.
I think anywhere from mid tier A all the way up to top tier A is where I would have him. I wouldn't have him low tier.
I kind of like him in between Draws and Beans, I think. I think Rencor is really, really good, man.
Works for me.
Okay, Abizi.
Right after draws on A.
Dude, Abizi's another one of those players that's hard to rank.
Right.
Because if you actually look at Abizi's stats this season, he's been kind of cheeks in hardpoint. He's obviously like one of the best S&D players in the game, and the way he enables his teammates, specifically Simp, is godlike. But like, Abizi's actually been kind of like mid a bunch of this season.
Wait, that split comment caught me off guard.
There you go. They can make it.
I still have him
I'd put him
maybe below Rancor? Question mark.
Yeah, in between Beans and Rancor.
Fair. Top of A tier. Super.
Yeah.
These guys kind of godlike, bro.
He is right now. He's probably like, I mean, I'll take him over Gwen, no bullshit. But I've had so many people in A, so I say top B. I want to see how he does against. Well, no, I mean, he's beat FaZe and he beat Haltix. I mean,
he has. He's 3-0. Well, I guess I don't know what actually happened in the one he subbed in for Medals. I think they lost, so he's 3-1.
They lost, yeah.
I think I'm okay with putting him number 1 in B.
Okay, just because he hasn't played as much, number 1 in B.
He hasn't played in much. If we did it strictly off his 3 series, he'd probably be like 3rd.
No, dead ass, he would be S tier if we only looked at like the last 3 series he's played.
Yeah, Toby, brother, Super is not getting carried.
We got to see a little bit. We got to see.
He's doing the carry
before I can, rate him much higher. Top of B, I think, is very fair though.
Okay, Kenny.
Man.
I think recently it has bumped him up just a little bit. I'll go below Awakening.
Very bottom of C tier or very top of D tier? Chat thinks he's C, top C.
I'd put him above Fellow.
You'd put him that high in the C tier?
Yeah, I do. I think because he's been playing much better recently. He has.
Okay. Democracy chat.
Why the fuck is Cammy this slow?
Cammy's
Where-
ass. That's why.
All right, no name. Where do you want Cammy? Realistically,
We only got 4 more players to go, man. 4 more. 04. Where should we put him?
Hi. Hi.
between Super and Teach.
Honestly, yeah, maybe. That's not a
I'm
bad
taking
spot.
I'm taking Tej over 04 personally.
I'm taking 04, but I love 04. So I guess
I'm putting 04 next to Abuza.
I would personally put 04 the last in A. I'd put him right below Gwyn. But I'm very high on 04. I'm very high on 04.
He's top of B for me for sure. Where do you want to put him?
All right, we'll put him next to Tej. We'll take a balance here. We'll put him right above a Tej. Sib.
Right below Booza.
I'd probably put him right above Inside.
Yeah.
That 1v3 he had against Rocker might put him a little above a couple people.
Yeah, I was gonna say right behind Slasher.
Where's Slasher at?
He's two above Insight.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
What do we think?
Okay, wait. Can we switch Nero and Kismet?
Like Nero behind Kiz?
Yeah.
Sure.
There we go.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes them more appealing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Snoopy.
Look, he like right up between Dashy and Envoy.
Yeah.
He said,
that might not be
yeah.
Yeah, that might not be bad.
Yeah, I like that, he
looks,
said.
that looks like a pretty solid Snoopy spot, I think.
Okay.
What do you think, Jake?
No, I think that's fair. I think
Okay.
that's fair. I think Snoopy's been really good this season. I think Snoopy's almost underrated this year.
Maybe a little bit higher if you wanted, but we'll tweak.
Yeah, we'll tweak. Honestly, I think he could be higher. Okay, and last but not least, ooh, what's the odds he's the last name? I swear to God, I didn't do that. I swear on everything, it's not on purpose. That's
Because he starts with a
genuinely
V.
how this worked out. It's because he
It's
starts with a V.
alphabetical.
Yeah, it's because he starts with a V.
I'm kidding.
And no, it might be because they were in alphabetical order, and I just dragged and dropped in a mix. Where do we think Vivid goes? I guess.
Top of S.
I agree.
Higher in style.
Bottom of C.
I think,
Calendar's S tier.
honestly, bro,
Bottom of C is where I put him.
dead ass. If I'd put him bottom of B. I think Vivid's been better than everybody in the C tier this season.
That's fair.
Okay.
We'll put top of C for now. All right.
Top C feels good.
All right. Let's adjust. Let's adjust. I think
Let's
our A
adjust.
tier is too thick.
Okay.
I think our A tier's
hold
got
on,
too many
hold on.
players.
Let's work our way down. S, I'm pretty sure it's solidified. I don't think anybody
Yeah,
else is going.
I think
in
S is perfect.
A. Okay.
There's a lot in A. We need to flatten out the A's. There needs to be more D. We need to start being a little bit more brutal. There needs to be more D players because not everybody's been C. There's been far more than 2 D players, I think. Like I would bump. Well, honestly, the best way we should do this is we should work. You want to do top to bottom or bottom to top? I feel like bottom to top might be easier.
Yeah, do bottom to top.
I would drag
are Priest and Attach the only 2 D tier players?
No, I would drag Wake, Lunars, Cammy, and maybe even if you wanted to drop Skies.
I'm not mad at that.
So you said Wake, Lunars, Cammy, and then maybe Skies?
Yeah.
I personally don't think Cammy's D tier. I don't think Cammy's been that bad. I agree with Wake. I think I unfortunately agree with Lunars.
Okay. So then put Cammy back up, and Cammy could be the worst in C. Fair?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
No.
Okay. All right. Now we gotta look
Okay.
at the C
Yeah,
tier.
look at the C tier. Are those the only C tier players? Look at the B tier as well and see, is there any of those guys you think would drop down?
Oh, bullshit. I think you can drop down Mac and Purge to C tier.
I would drop Mac and Purge.
Look good? I agree.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah, I
with
think that-
I agree with Mac drop for sure. I think Purge is top C, low B probably. I think top C is fair.
I think that's fine. I think that's good.
Okay. B tier. Do any of those guys in the B tier look out of place? Whether it's
No.
in the tier or they should go up or they should go down.
No.
I think that's good. We just got to start pulling some names from the A tier. There's not that many A tier players, unfortunately.
Okay, so then who do you think from the A tier should go down? I mean, I guess it's obviously like the guys towards the bottom, but like,
Yeah.
obviously the exact intricacies of who's placed where is not perfectly agreed amongst all of us. It's just like a consensus. So like, do we think Gwyn should be top of B? Do we think Kremp should be top of B? Ghosty top of B?
No bullshit.
We
I think everyone after Envoy, you could make a debate about being top of B.
Okay. I'm good with that. Have Nasty be the top of B, and then just move those 4 down.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, because we moved Dan. Of course you don't know.
Chat, listen, I know I'm biased to Ghosty, but like, have we watched this guy? Like, just go, like, genuinely, just look at Ghosty stats. Hold on, let me pull it up for you. Like, I don't know, bro. This guy's pretty freaking consistent and good at everything. Like, this guy's kind of good at everything, bro.
But in terms of like numbers, he's kind of in the mid pack of everything. 48 players. I mean,
listen,
he's like
I said, it's democracy. I think Ghosty's A tier, but of course I'm biased, especially because I watched the LAT matches with, a keen eye.
Well, I mean, again, if y'all said A was too packed, so I said everyone under.
No,
Envoy.
that's fair, man. That's fair. We're coming to a consensus. You guys agree? I don't think it's. I'm not saying it's like insane. I'm just saying I think he's A tier.
That's saying to switch Envoy and Ghosty. Put Envoy last in A and put Ghosty last in A and put Envoy where he is in B.
I think they're both so close to each other. I feel like they should be on the same tier, in my opinion. I think they both make amazing, like, big plays when they need to. They both are OBJ focused. I think statistically, Ghosty's numbers are probably better across the board than Envoy's. But that also is because he probably gets in less engagements, like KD wise.
I'm okay with moving Ghosty to A.
So does that mean we should move Nasty up too? Because we have Nasty above Dan right now. Let me move them both up so you can see what it looks like. I've really got to pee, bro. I really got to pee so bad. So you guys keep looking and think about what you want to bring up.
No, we can move Nasty down to B and keep Ghosty there, in my opinion. Because if we're gonna look at the numbers, then Ghosty does have better numbers than Nasty.
Oh, this is hard. I'm good with that.
This is hard.
Move Estria to B. Should we switch Estria on Kremp?
Mm-hmm. Let's see the numbers. Let's see Crampy Poo. Kyle Howarth. He has a 1.3, 1.13 in S&D, 1.04, 1.0 in hardpoint. Let's see, Estrio. Astrio has a 1.04 overall, 1.06, 1.97, 1.04. Basically, Crap has a better S&D KD by a lot, but I don't think so. I think I'd still keep Astrio at the top. I mean, we just saw them go blow for blow in that first HP. They both had 40.
Okay.
Yeah. And also to answer Luke's question in chat, it's an individual player tier list. Obviously, how their team performs and wins has an impact on that, especially because how they play impacts how their team plays. But if that's how it worked, then all of FaZe would just be the top of S tier. So it's and looking at individual performances, probably like 90% of it.
I think we're gonna move Nasty down to the top of B, Jake. That's what we decided. We keep Dan as the last player in A. We were discussing if we wanted to switch Crep and Astral, but we decided not.
Check my
The
phone.
Witch, Kremp, and Estriel?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, looking at the list and chat, you guys let me know. If you had to pick one player you think is out of place, whether it's too high or too low, who are you picking?
I think Hook's too high.
I mean,
that was my pick.
That's fair.
I wanted to put him towards the bottom of A, but I understand why you guys have him as high because he has looked good, but I just don't think he's looked good enough, or they wouldn't be this ass.
I fear his teammates are ass. Chat's also saying Hook and Dashi are the two that I've seen offer it. And Exnid.
I think Dashi's good where he is.
Hook? All right, so Alex, where would you put Hook? Do you think that's where
I'm
you'd
okay
have Hook?
with-
Do you think he should be lower?
He's an A for sure, but I mean, where you want to put him? I mean, that's up for the world to decide. Because if chat is saying that Dashy needs to move down to B, then so does Ghosty.
No, I think Dashi's A. I think Dashi's A tier. I'd say maybe he's towards the back. I mean, I guess he's only fourth from the back at this point, but I think back towards the back end of A tier makes sense for Dashi. This guy's been an absolute hell this season. He's been the only consistent factor bar a few series for Optic, and everybody has bad series here and there.
Like you could probably move Hook down because he didn't play all of stage 2. But I think their two are good right there.
Okay.
Is
I was
this
gonna say-
just
Where should we put him?
KD? No.
No, it's not just KD, obviously, chat. It's not just KD.
I was gonna say we switch Dill to like the first player in B, but and then move Hook to like bottom of A.
Dude, doing a 3-person tier list is hard, bro. Because everyone has
I'll-
their own things.
I was gonna make Dill top of B, switch Hook to bottom of A, and then
I'm
that
not mad
way
at that.
you only have one. Like you have flat line A, and that looks a lot better.
So
You'd have
put
12.
him here,
you'd have-
put him here.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
yeah. I think that looks to me better.
I know Jake said that Estro was a little too high. What do you think he should be?
I think we're too high on Estrel. I think he's closer to the back of A. Me personally.
Okay.
I think Snoopy's been better. I think Hook's been better. Honestly,
Okay.
I think Envoy and Kremp have been better if we're looking at subs. And we have them top of B.
I think Estro's been better than Envoy for sure.
Let's move Estriel to the back of A then, but better than Hook. Yes, Alex?
I'm down with that.
Okay. We got a thick B tier, which is I think is
That's exactly what we should have,
point,
yeah.
right? The point
Yeah.
is to have the middle tier be the thick one. Right? That's where the average player or the around average player lies. Yeah, I mean, honestly, as like a consensus tier list, but cross 3 people plus some input from chat, I don't think it's all that. I don't think it's bad. I think it's good. I think most players are probably right around where they should be. right? You could, of course, argue a couple individual places. Like if you think Kremp should be 2 spots higher, 1 spot lower, obviously, that's individual preference. Or if you think like a guy who's right on the fringe of a tier should be higher or lower, that is, very minuscule, I guess, in the grand scheme of things when you're trying to do 48 players across all of us. Okay. I think this is the list, chat. I think this is the list. If you disagree with like 1 or 2 players, it's okay, bro. If you disagree with a lot of it, and obviously you can feel free to let us know in the comments or in the live chat if you're watching it right now. But I think listen, it's not exactly my personal list, but it's not exactly any of our personal lists. It's a consensus, so that is kind of the point. That is kind of the point.
Pretty solid list. I think that's a pretty solid list. Damn, Shotzi that low is brutal, bro.
Yeah, that is dude. I mean, if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4.
No. I'm not saying brutal isn't like we changed it. I'm saying like brutal isn't like
17?
that hurts.
You think Shotzi's the 31st best player this season?
I don't look at this. I don't look at this tier list, and I wouldn't confidently say that I don't take anybody above him. That's above him right now, which I think is how you have to rate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hearing that Shotzi's the 31st is insane, but he's top 20. On what metric? Who's 20 on this?
This is why it's hard. 20? Oh god.
17 is between S and A. So you think that
18, 19, 20. Crap.
You're taking him over Gwyn, you're taking him over Super, what we've seen. 04, TJ Haley, Gio. Like, I don't think you are. And I'm like one of the biggest Shotzi fans in the world.
Well, obviously people are going to say they take him over because they know what Shotzi's capable of, but if you're strictly looking at like how he's actually performed on the season,
if he was on any other team, he would be winning. Okay.
Well, I mean, listen, it's possible. We can't. The tier list is based on what we've seen, not based on hypotheticals. That's the problem. You could, if Scrap was on phase, he would be. You know what I'm saying? If Cammy was on phase, he might be in the S tier. Like, but that's not how it works. Taking Shotzi above Draza. Oh, Toby, we might be smoking the pack, bro.
Is that rage bait?
We might be off the Papania.
Yeah, does look like a bouncer. You're not wrong.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is too bad. When you consider the fact that we're trying to balance this across 3 different people plus 4 if you had chat opinions, I think we did a relatively good job.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
I'm mad at this.
I think you could post this. I think I'm happy with this.
I think we're definitely getting roasted for sure.
We are.
Because the thing is, you got to remember, the thing is, if someone disagrees with a single placement of one player, you're getting roasted. If it has to be literally perfect for that individual person to not get roasted. So someone's going to look at this and they're going to say, Envoy is too low or Kenny is too high, and that's it. It's over. Your whole list is disregarded because you had one thing different than what they think. That is the typical fan mindset, unfortunately.
Alex, you happy with this list?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, you can't please everybody.
I think I'm okay with this list too. I think we locked this in. We went through, we tweaked, we kind of balanced out the tiers.
And Luke, honestly, bro, this simp one for you, when you think about it, you arguing simp being number 2 on the list versus number 3 is like so small in the grand scheme of a 48 player tier list, Like me thinking Envoy should be 1 spot higher is like, it's so tiny in the grand scheme. So if anything, that's a good thing. If that's like the one big thing you disagree with, is one individual placement should be 1 higher. That's actually what we're looking for. If we can get it that good, that's a pretty good list.
Hey, to be fair, Luke, I had Simp at number 1, so
he did.
I hear you.
He did. Now I think Simp's been bad the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's been a little underwhelming, but he's Simp. He'll figure it the fuck
out. Oh, yeah. I mean, he will figure it out, but I mean, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not placing him based on what. This is for the whole season, Aries. It's for
does.
all of
does.
BO6.
It does
It
very
does.
much, Luke. Alex and I are in pain right now, but we told Jake we would be as unbiased as possible, and I feel like we did that very well
Yeah.
with this list. We don't have a single Optic player in S. Our highest player is Dashy, and he's what? 13th on the list. I think that's fair. I think that's unbiased. I think that's fair.
Mhm.
We
Not
had
bad.
2
'Cause-
people that were on Optic this year in seed, like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but it's true.
Fuel, they're picking up Dylan Rex.
All right. Yeah, I think you could tweet that shit out.
All right, I'll tweet it out after the stream, man. I can't wait to
Ship
get
it.
roasted. I can't wait to get roasted. But Chad, that's the list, man. That's the list. If you're watching in post, let us know what you disagree with the most, because I'm sure everyone's going to disagree with something. But if it's something small, then that means we did a pretty good job. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, and if you're watching on or if you're listening on Spotify, go on our Twitter. We'll post it on there. It's gonna be too long to name all 48 players
Yeah.
and where they're at.
yep. But yeah, there we go, man. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, if you ask me. But yeah, chat. Any questions?
Tyrone Big Nuts. Woo.
Any questions, chat? You guys really want us to answer or talk about before we end the show? Take like 5 minutes because we've already been live for 2 hours and I'm sweating my ass off in here, bro. It is so hot. I swear to God, there's something about this room that just the AC just doesn't work. Oh,
Schaefer with-
Oh my
whoa.
god.
Schaefer with a 5 gifted. What the fuck, Schaefer? Yo, appreciate you, man. Thank you, chat. Let me get some W's for that 5 gifties at
W-
11
W-
o'clock at night. Thank you, Schaefer, for real, man.
All right, chat. I told Alex I would play for a little before I went to bed, so hit us with a couple questions before we sign
Preston's
off.
got to play with some nuts.
Tyrone Big Nuts.
Mm-hmm. When will the pain end? Next season, Field. Next season.
Yeah, next season. Madcap for Skies. Honestly, if that would make you happy, Gabe, I say we do it just for
Mhm.
you. Late night grinders. I've been on my bullshit, Schaefer. I've been on my fucking bullshit.
Yeah, Preston's going crazy, Chad. This guy's working 47 jobs. He's working 27 hours a day, 8 days a
Yes,
week.
25 baby mamas,
Mm-hmm.
35 Lambos.
Mm-hmm.
55
55 fries, 55.
early,
55 taters, 55.
early major 3 winner prediction, Toronto Ultra.
Oh, I got LAT. I think
face.
LAT win 3, lose 4, win champs. I think Surge win Major 4.
What do you want Ockley to pick up this offseason? Well, I don't even want to get into it. We
All
just
of
talked about that. Yeah. Just pick up everybody and just
Honestly,
make
run a 48 team roster.
we
48
just switch them
roster.
out every match. I do 4.
I think if you like made me pick a team, I picked Kenny and Estriel, but that's like just based on me being like realistic on who I think is available. My number one choice is if Joe Deceives is available in any sort of way, you go after Joe Deceives.
Mm-hmm. Jody's
Hey,
good. Jody's good for content too.
Yeah. If Joe D is available, you go after Joe D. I think if you can, you bring Kenny back. I think this year was kind of like just a rough year in general. And he's been playing much better. And I think he brings that championship winning culture. If Kenny doesn't want to come back, you have like
Fuck
potentially
no, Jose.
you have like potentially Sib or it might be time to dip into challengers. I don't know. I'm just tired over the recycle, to be honest. I'm tired over recycle. I want something fresh. I love Kyler, but I don't know how many times I could see him on this team without losing my fucking shit.
Yeah. Or Optic. All right, let's round it out, boys. It's been a good show. It's been almost 2 hours, so say your goodbyes to chat. Well, I mean, we'll see him again throughout the week and next weekend and Monday, obviously, but
Well, Alex has to sign off, so I'll go first. This guy's so aura at the end of every episode. But no, we appreciate you guys. Seriously, we do. We appreciate you guys. I mean, it's Monday night, and you guys hang out with us till late night. So, I mean, it's cool as fuck. So, We appreciate all the support, man. We got Major 3, not this week, but next week. And then the countdown is on till DreamHack, which we will be going to, and hopefully film a ton of more content for you guys. So,
oh yeah.
Hopefully this weekend of matches is good. Probably gonna be some sort of banger down to the wire finish for who makes winners bracket, because there's like 3 teams right now at 1 and 3. Yeah. So hopefully the matches are good, but obviously appreciate you guys as always. You guys are dope, and as we've all said, you guys make this fun. So
yeah, chat, we love y'all. Again, can never say it enough. We appreciate all the support on all the streams, all the platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, whatever it is that it may be. Shout out to everyone that uses code MAV on everything that Jake Maverick is spent. It's sponsored on Juvie. I mean, Ferrari,
all the links are down below.
Yeah, all the links are down below. So we appreciate all y'all, chat. Again, Major Force right around the corner. We'll be there. Excited for that. Yeah, I mean, as I always say, chat, if you love us, or if you fucking hate us, you're still watching. Especially those kids in ranked who said stick to podcasting.
Will do,
yeah,
brother.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the views. Chat, we love y'all. Peace.
Yep, chat, appreciate you guys. If you're watching in post, Spotify, leave a 5-star review. If you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel. We'll be back next week with another episode, Monday night, as always, giving our predictions for the major right next week. So that'll be exciting. But as always, thank you guys. Shout out to 1v1me. Definitely check them out. Links down below. And use code ATC at sign up to help support us and show 1v1me that working with us was a good idea. So thank you guys for real. And we'll see you all next week, chat. Peace out, man.
Peace.